Hello, good morning children. Today in this video I am going to explain class 7 civics 4th chapter growing up as boys and girls. How you are growing up as boys and girls, a very interesting chapter you are going to learn now. Let's see. Being a boy or a girl is an important part of one's identity. Okay, are you a boy or girl? This is an important identity to everyone of us. The society we grow up in teaches us what kind of behavior is acceptable for girls and boys, what boys and girls can or cannot do. So, whatever the society, in which society we are living, the society teaches us what type of behavior is acceptable for it, for boys and girls, how boys have to behave, how girls have to behave. The society teaches us. And at the same time, what a boy or a girl can do or cannot do, what things you are supposed to do or not to do, like these, all these you will learn from the society. We often grow up thinking that these things are exactly the same everywhere. Everywhere in every society, all these restrictions will be same, but it is not true. It changes from one society to other society. But do all societies look at boys and girls in the same way? We will try and answer this question in this chapter. So, will all the societies will treat the boys and girls as the same, with the same restrictions or not? We will see in this chapter. We will also look at how the different roles assigned to boys and girls prepare them for their future roles as men and women. How these societies, they are preparing these boys and girls for the future generation as men and women, how they have to perform their roles in future society. All these you will learn from the society. We will learn that most societies value men and women differently. You know how in our society, how the men will be treated and how the women will be treated. You know, already you are experiencing as a boy and a girl. The roles women play and the work they do are usually valued less than the roles men play and the work they do. You know already. Men will be treated superior and women will be treated as inferior to men. Yes or not? Okay, the work they do, women, housework and all those things, they will be underestimated. That for them, we won't give value to women work. This chapter will also examine how inequalities between men and women emerge in the area of work. In the area of work, how these inequalities will emerge, we are going to learn in this chapter. Okay. Growing up in Samoa in the 1920s. So, here in 1920s, in Samoa is an island. How there boys and girls, how they have grown up in Samoa, you are going to learn now. The Samoan Islands are part of a large group of small islands in the southern part of the Pacific Ocean. In the southern part of the Pacific Ocean, these Samoan Islands are located. Southern parts of the Pacific Ocean. Okay, southern parts of the Pacific Ocean means in the world map, here Pacific Ocean, southern parts. Here Samoan Islands are located in the world map. Okay, this side. In the 1920s, according to research reports on Samoan society, children did not go to school. So here children did not go to school. Children didn't go to school. There is no option of school for children. Children did not go to school. Next step. They learned many things such as how to take care of children or do household work from older children. So what they will do here? They will learn household work. Household work from others. Okay, they don't go to school and they will learn household work from other elder children. Fishing was a very important activity on the islands. So what was the important activity? Fishing. They will learn fishing, to catch fish. Okay, fishing was the activity. Fishing activity they will learn. Okay. Young people therefore learn to undertake long fishing expeditions. So young people, they will go for this fishing and they will earn more on these fishing activities. But they learn these things at different points in their childhood. So all these fishing activities and earning on this, they will learn at different levels in their childhood. As soon as babies could walk, their mothers or other adults no longer looked after them. When the baby started to walk, the mothers or other adults, they won't look after them. Okay, they won't look after them. Older children, often as young as 5 years old in the family, if a children are 5 years is any children are 5 years aged children are there, means they will look after these small children. 5 years above, 5 years or 5 years above, whoever children are there, they will look after these babies. To cover this responsibility, both boys and girls looked after their younger siblings. So here boys and girls who were their elders and at the age also 5 to 7 years, those children only, they will look after their younger siblings, either a boy or a girl. The looking after of these younger siblings responsibility was the children of age group 5 to 7 or 5 to 8, like this. But by the time a boy was about 9 years old, but in the same condition, if a boy gets 9 years old, then he joined the other older boys in learning outdoor jobs like fishing and planting coconuts. So that means here 5 to 9 years we can say, 5 to 8 years we can say, and if a boy gets 9 years, he has to join in other groups. For what purposes? For fishing and planting coconuts. Planting coconuts. He has to learn at the age of 9 years. At the age of 9 years, if a boy gets 9 years, he has to learn this fishing activity and planting. He has to go for planting coconuts. He will learn from other older group boys. Okay, he will learn from other older group boys. Girls had to continue looking after small children or do errands for adults till they were teenagers. So here, what was the girl's responsibility by the time? She has to look after the small children and to do household work. Errands of the elders means their incomplete works or household work, the girls have to do. Girls have to do the girls have to look after children and do household work. Okay, boys at the age of 9, boys will go for fishing and planting coconuts, and the girls till they become teenagers, they have to look after the small children, that means their siblings, and household work they have to learn. But once they became teenagers, they had much more freedom. After becoming teenagers, girls have much more freedom. After the age of 14 or so, girls also went on fishing trips, worked in the plantations, learned how to weave baskets. So, but when they become 14 years, okay, they will get freedom, and they also will go for fishing, coconut planting, and weaving baskets. All these activities they can learn when at the age of 14 years. As they will get 14 years, from then onwards they can go for fishing, coconut plantations, and weaving baskets. Cooking was done in special cooking houses where boys were supposed to do most of the work while girls helped with preparations. See one more interesting here. Here they have separate cooking houses. Separate cooking houses. Separate cooking houses, and mostly cooking will be done by men. Cooking will be done by boys. Most cooking will be done by boys, and girls will help them. Girls will help them. Okay, see, totally different to our society. So, what was the main thing you have learned? How the boys and girls will grow in these Samoan Islands. So, here, there is no school for children, and the younger children have to look after the younger siblings. The age group of 5 to 8 years age group children, they will look after the younger children, and after becoming elders, boys can go for, after getting 9 years, boys can go for fishing, planting coconuts and all. And the girls, in the girls case, what it is? In the girls case, till they become teenagers, they have to look after the siblings, and at the same time they will do household work. Once they will get 14 years, once they become teenagers, they will get more freedom. More freedom means they also can go for activities. What type of activities? They can go for fishing activities, fishing trips, and coconut plantations, and at the same time they can learn weaving baskets. Okay, next. And there are separate houses. For what? Separate cooking houses. Okay. Usually food will be cooked in separate cooking houses, and the most of the cooking will be done by boys only. Most of the cooking will be done by boys, and the girls only will help them in preparations only. So cooking by boys. What about our condition? Who will cook at your home? See. Next. Growing up male in Madhya Pradesh in the 1960s. You don't think that is now present. No. This is 1920s in Samoa. Okay. Now we are going to see 1960s in Madhya Pradesh in our country only. (1960s) in Madhya Pradesh. That means our central India, Madhya Pradesh. Okay, Bhopal was the capital of this Madhya Pradesh. So, in 1960s, how the boys and girls grown up in Madhya Pradesh, we are going to see now. The following is adapted from an account of experiences of being in a small town in Madhya Pradesh in the 1960s. So, here the text, this content was given from an adapted sources. Adapted source. From class 6th onwards, boys and girls went to separate schools. So, main points I will write here, children. From 6th class. From 6th class, separate schools. Separate schools for boys and girls. For boys and girls. B and G. Okay, this was the main thing. Next. The girls' school was designed very differently from the boys' school. So, design also separate. Whose design? Girls' school. Girls' schools. Girls' schools were of with separate design. And then they had a central courtyard where they played in total seclusion and safety from the outside world. Okay, from the outside world. The boys, okay, so here playground was in the center of the school and buildings will be here, rooms. Classrooms will be here. Okay, this is courtyard. That means playground. Playground we can say. This is playground. Okay, center. Playground will be center and the classrooms will be surrounding. So, the children, the girls will play under secularism. The boys' school had no such courtyard and our playground was just a big space attached to the school. So, in boys' school, this playground will be just attached a small ground. Every evening, once school was over, the boys watched as hundreds of school girls crowded the narrow streets. After the completion of the schools, all the girls used to go on the street roads. Crowded girls. That means together a group they will move. As these girls walked on the streets, they looked so purposeful. This was unlike the boys who used the streets as a place to stand around idling. Usually on the roads boys will do, they will move idly, no work, without any purpose they will move. But girls will use the roads for purposeful, to reach their destination, to go to school, to go home, like that, to go shops, like that. Their purpose is to using the streets were purposeful. But not boys like that. And to play, to try out tricks with their bicycles. You know already, with so many of you, some of you, not so many of you, some of you will do with your bicycles, cycles you are doing tricks and here and there skidding, you are doing all these things on the roads. Okay. For the girls, the street was simply a place to get straight home. The girls always went in groups, perhaps because they also carried fears of being teased or attacked. So I said earlier, girls will use the road to reach their destination. If they are spending unnecessarily on the road, means what will happen? Some noisy, naughty fellows, they will harass them and they will tease them. So for security, what they will do? They will move on groups. After reading the two examples above, we realize that there are many different ways of growing up. So, in Samoa, there was no school. In 1920s. In 1960s in Madhya Pradesh, school was there, but from 6th class, separate schools. School design also separate for girls and boys. And boys' behavior was different and girls' behavior was different. Often we think that there is only one way in which children grow up. This is because we are most familiar with our own experiences. If we talk to elders in our family, we will see that their childhoods were probably very different from ours. So, if you see, you have grandparents at your home now, you talk with them. How were the conditions when they studied? And you talk with your parents. How were the conditions by their time of study? And now compare with your situations. Now, present, you are also studying. And what were the conditions? Compare and know the differences between these two types. 3. Old parents, that means grandparents, your parents and you. Compare and see how the changes were. How, in which situations these boys and girls were same. Okay, I hope you will ask your parents and grandparents and compare. Till now, I hope you understood, children. The remaining part I will explain in the next video. Thank you. Have a nice day.